What's up, y'all? Kaizen here, back at it today with another video. I just finished working out doing calisthenics, and hopefully you guys can hear me because there's a lot of wind. Just finished doing calisthenics and doing some, and I still have to do sprints after this video. But anyways, I want to talk about how your outer world reflects your inner world, and how people have it backwards on when they're trying to change their reality. So most people, when they try to change their reality, they try to change everything outside of them. For example, if they're going through anxiety, they try to figure out all these different techniques to help them, which can help them, right? In fact, I have a story about a friend of mine. He used to have like crazy amount of anxiety, right? And I used to think like he was always faking, like when we were in high school or whatever. But he used to get like panic attack, anxiety attacks. He used to sometimes faint, and I used to be like, why? Like I don't see what's going on. And if you think about what anxiety is, all it is your brain predicting an error in the future. Anxiety is basically worrying about the future and thinking that it's going to go bad, right? Depression is something similar or whatever, but I'm not going to go into depression in this video. But essentially, I didn't think it was real until I kind of got older and went through it myself, but I didn't have it as bad as he had it to where I was passing out. I didn't have none of that, right? But I would just have this constant state of worry. My friend, as far as I know, he never got over it. If all anxiety is your brain predicting an error in the future, that means it literally is inside your own head. I've said in previous videos that your brain can't tell the difference between what's imagined and what's in reality or the physical reality. My friend is the definition of that. When we were in high school, he would have panic attacks and damn near heart attacks and pass out, and nothing in the outside world would be going in, but it was all in here. And once you understand that your inner world, your outer world reflects your inner world, that gives you way more power than you know. For example, I'm actually working on a little project on the side, but when people talk about they're not disciplined. Now, as someone who's like kind of went through the stage of procrastination, being called lazy or whatever, first of all, and overthinking, procrastination, and laziness is a habit. It's not a freaking trait or characteristic or anything. It's a habit, right? I would always try every technique in the book to become disciplined. And they would work for like a day or two, and then I would just fall off completely. The reality is, like I said, outer world reflects your inner world. So when I was going through that discipline, quote unquote, stage, my inner world reflected that I wasn't disciplined. And I tried to do everything in the outer world to change it. When in reality, all I had to do was believe I was disciplined. What I started telling myself all the time was that it was easy to be disciplined because I was disciplined. I already was disciplined. I would say that all the time. It's easy to be disciplined because I already am disciplined. And I would imagine over and over again me doing tasks that I don't really want to do, just doing them and getting them out the way, right? And over time, it became easier to do hard things. And once I started to accept the fact that you're never really going to feel like doing the things you want to do, you just do it anyway because that's the discipline aspect of it. You're doing what you're supposed to do. So, just to keep it short and sweet, your outer world reflects your inner world. If you want to change anything in your reality or in your life, try focusing on changing the inner world first. Don't try focusing on changing the outer world, because you're going to try to change the outer world and nothing is going to change. In fact, it's probably going to get worse. And you're going to get frustrated with yourself because you're trying so hard to change when you don't need to try hard at all. You just need to change the inner part of your mind. Change how you view things, your perspective on things. And this is just a little tip, bonus tip for people who struggle with anxiety or depression. I will talk about depression in another video. But if you're someone who has anxiety and you're always worrying, just ask yourself the question of, what are you worried about? More often than not, what you're worried about hasn't even happened or will probably never happen. And number two, the second question to ask yourself is, how is this helping me? How is me worrying about this prediction in my brain helping me? Once you realize that it's not helping you, you get a sigh of relief because you're asking yourself the important questions on, is your anxiety serving you or is it destroying you? And if it's destroying you, you're better off letting it go. And I've told my friends this exercise, who used to always worry. I had a couple of friends who had major anxiety. And then even when I had it for a little bit, where I was just panicking over and over again mentally, Nothing was happening in the outside world, just mentally. It helped ease my worry, and it made me focus on what I can control. The one key concept of this entire video, besides obviously your outer world reflects your inner world, is that the only thing you control is your mind. An example I've told friends is you would never let somebody come up to you and push you on the ground without doing anything back, right? You would never let somebody slap you without slapping them back or at least trying to injure them back, right? So why do you let your mind do this, or why do you let other people do this to your mind, whether it's social media, news, or even your own thoughts that aren't even really yours? Why do you let your mind become a hostage so much easier than your physical body when the mind is the only thing you control? At any moment in time in the world, somebody could just come to you. Police officers could come to you, or CIA or whatever. They could come up to you, snatch you up, and you won't have control of your body, and they'll put you in a cell. But you will still have control of your mind, unless they're doing some Call of Duty Black Ops 2 stuff or whatever. But control your mind, and your outer world reflects your inner world, and focus on controlling the inner world. And by you controlling the inner world, and what you believe will reflect in the outer world. All the outer world is a 3D lagging indicator of what's reflected in your inner world. That's it for the video. See you guys next time. Peace. Last thing for you guys, because I forgot to record this part in the video. If you're interested in ways to become more disciplined, change your identity, manifest stuff in your world or whatever, click the link down in the description below to join the shadow letters. I talk about this stuff on my newsletter. It's completely free. And I talk about some controversial stuff on there. So if you are very sensitive, please don't join. But if you're actually interested in having a huge self-transformation and seeing all the things I've done to kind of change my identity and how I perceive things and become better over time, click the link down in the description below. See you guys next time. Peace.